Hey, what's up guys, Tariq here from smartbiketrainers.com, and this is the floating fork from InsideRide. So when you ride your bike indoors, you have different options: a stationary bike or a bike trainer, or rollers, or possibly a full bike treadmill if you can get your hands on one or even afford one. With a stationary bike or a regular bike trainer, your bike clamps onto a trainer and off you go. You don't have to worry about falling off or balancing your bike. You can sprint, do hard intervals, browse social media on your phone, reply to text messages, all without having to worry about falling off your bike. However, even the best bike trainers still lack that good and true road feel. Rollers come close, but they require you to balance your bike on narrow metal drums. If you get distracted, even for a split second, you can end up on the floor. Rollers are looked at as a tool to help riders fine-tune their pedal stroke and balance, and many tend to shy away from them because they can be intimidating and nobody likes to fall off their bikes. So the InsideRide E-motion roller is not your standard rollers. It is known for its motion technology and bumper wheels to prevent you from falling off. You can still tip over, which I've managed to do a few times. You will find the InsideRide E-motion a little easier and more comfortable to ride than traditional rollers or stationary bike trainers. I have owned my E-motion rollers for I think over 7 years now, and I have done more riding on it than any other trainer. I've done plenty of 5 to 6 hours ride on it, and I just love that thing. But as much as I love it, riding the E-motion roller, on some occasions I really wish someone was holding my bike for me so I can just concentrate on the workout or browse social media and not have to worry about falling off. A few years ago, InsideRide released a specific fork designed for the E-motion, which I purchased and used once or twice, but then I put it aside and never used it again. It was just not for me. A few years after that, InsideRide made this floating fork, and I was intrigued by the floating motion of the fork, but then reminded myself that I really just like the E-motion roller just the way it is. However, InsideRide reached out to me and sent me this floating fork and their new smart resistance unit, and I have been exclusively using my E-motion roller with a floating fork for the past few weeks and probably over a month now. Okay, before we get into any further in this video, I just want to say that I have no relationship with InsideRide. They did send me the floating fork and resistance unit to review, and that's about it. I don't even have an affiliate relationship with them, so I won't even make any affiliate commission if you buy one using any of the links in the video description or the website. Not that I mind making some money. Everything here is my opinion and not influenced by InsideRide. And if you find this video interesting or helpful in any way, I would appreciate it if you hit the like button and leave a comment. And if you are new to this channel, you might want to consider subscribing. Okay, this floating front fork is designed exclusively for the E-motion roller and will not fit any other type of roller or bike trainer out there. And unlike a fixed fork, this floating fork design allows the bike and back wheel to move and tilt freely side to side. There is nothing difficult or special about the installation process. You will find step-by-step instructions included with the fork. The floating fork will replace the front bumper wheels and should snap into the frame. You can use your front wheel quick release screw to lock your front fork to the floating fork stand. Once the front fork is in place, make sure to recheck the position of the front drum by looking at how the back wheel sits on the roller drums. The back wheel should be touching both drums. If it does not, you must adjust the position of the front roller drum and fork stand either forward or backward until the back wheel sits evenly between the rear drums. If you have the smart resistance unit, you need to log into the InsideRide app and turn on the front fork option. This knob here allows you to lock and unlock the tilting motion if you choose to. The fork allows the bike to steer. That's how your bike naturally tilts side to side. If you just grab your bike and steer the handlebar, your bike will tilt. That's the whole idea behind the floating fork. The fork will hold the bike in place while allowing you to steer and linking the steering motion to the tilting and rocking. The back wheel is also free to move side to side and not just tilting like you see on the kinetic rocker roll trainer or the rocker plates. So when you first get on the bike, you will need to hold on to the handlebar to keep the bike standing. It might feel a little awkward at first, but you'll get used to it. This is how I personally like to get on it. I just hold on firmly to the handlebar, clip on one leg. In this case, I have my left leg clipped on, and holding on to the opposite side of the handlebar and just hop on and start pedaling. That's it. So unlike a wheel-on or a direct drive trainer, you still need to engage your core and upper body strength to control the handlebar and balance yourself. When you ride outside, your bike is constantly tilting side to side and constantly steering. That's what keeps the bike upright and not the gyroscopic effect as many might think. That's why it's almost impossible to ride straight in a straight line. Just try riding on the straight white or yellow line painted on the road. You just won't be able to do it. When you ride rollers, you are basically doing the same motion. The floating fork allows the bike to keep that same motion and tilt side to side and steer the same way when you are outside. With each pedal stroke, your bike will tilt side to side, and as long as you are in balance, practically no steering pressure will be needed. And now, as you pedal faster and increase power, the force of your hip movement will naturally increase that rocking motion, and that rocking motion coupled with the backward forward motion, and you got yourself an awesome and a very, very comfortable ride. Very comfortable and probably as realistic to outdoor riding as you will get on an indoor trainer. You're still indoor though. So does it really work? At first, I was very skeptical. I didn't like the fork attached to my E-motion roller in the past, and I didn't think this will change my opinion. After a few rides, I found myself getting almost the same benefits and comfort I get from riding the rollers without the fork stand. At the same time, I am able to concentrate more on the workout and multitask if I wanted to without having to worry about falling off. Trainer companies have been working hard trying to bring the outdoor ride feel indoor with bigger flywheels, road feel simulation, hill simulation like with the kicker climb and the rocker plate to simulate tilting and the rocking motion for better ride feel and comfort. You might also wonder if this type of fork can add additional stress on the frame. Well, I did talk to InsideRide about this, and the way I understand it is the bike is floating and balanced on its own without any supportive forces acting on it. In the case of standing and sprinting, the force you apply to the pedal is countered by the force of pulling on the handlebar, so it's all channeled internally. I did a lot of intentional heavy rocking and tilting that you normally wouldn't do when riding with my carbon fiber bike to see if anything breaks, and nothing luckily happened. I would say the stress isn't any more, if not even less, than the stress you get from any regular stationary bike trainer. I have always been a big fan of the E-motion roller and have been recommending it for many years. However, with the latest advancement we've seen with smart bike trainers, my E-motion ended up collecting dust for the past couple of years. However, with this floating fork and the new smart control unit, which I will talk about in the next video, I have been using my E-motion roller a lot more and really enjoying it all over again. Another advantage to the floating fork, I noticed less rear tire slippage than on the roller. Now, no matter how good of you are on rollers, standing up and leaning forward during hard efforts can make that back wheel slip a little bit. I've since left the front fork attached to my E-motion roller and most likely will put it back on. Plus, I can just leave the bike on it and not have to worry about storing the bike after my workouts. So could this be a good and a better alternative to rocker plates or full, big, bulky, expensive bike treadmills like the Tacx Magnum? Let me know. I would love to know what you think on this. And that's been it. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. And make sure to stay tuned for the full review on the smart resistance unit of the E-motion roller.